Hey, welcome back, everybody, to Breaking Point. You're watching Real America's Voice News. Stay tuned. Go to americasvoice.news. Catch us on Dish Network, channel 219, Pluto.tv, free app, channel 240, Roku, Apple TV, Samsung TV, channel 1029. You got to stay with us all year. This is the year to save our country. Congress has to go the other way in order to save the ship, I believe. And that's one man's opinion. But I'm very honored to have with us right now Rodney Glassman. He's running for Attorney General in the great state of Arizona, the rugged individualist state of Arizona. Rodney, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me on.
People forget that, Arizona is only about 100 years old in the Union, right? You guys, you had toughed it out and roughed it out through a lot of different changes, right, before you joined the Union.
That's for sure. But even as a territory, one of the first laws, I think it was 1873, they protected the sanctity of life. Some of the policies that we have that our legislator and even before our territorial legislator passed when it came to advocating for life, when it came to advocating for safety, when it came to advocating and protecting our use of guns, those are longstanding traditions here in Arizona and things that I plan on protecting as our next Attorney General.
So I see that you picked up the endorsement, have an event hosted by Paul Gosar, correct? Congressman Gosar.
Yeah, Congressman Gosar is a supporter and friend. My background, I'm an Air Force prosecutor. I've prosecuted drug dealers and financial crimes and protected victims of sexual assault. And I'm also a private attorney here in Arizona in the Phoenix area, where I work with businesses as well as high stakes litigation. And Congressman Gosar selected my candidacy. We're in a 6-way Republican primary here for Attorney General.
Yeah.
I'm the only Republican running that supported President Trump, that contributed to his campaign, and that served on his finance committee. And what Congressman Gosar, he's a fighter. He knows we need a fighter as our Attorney General, and I'm proud to have his support.
Well, I hope the Trumps come out for you in force this year. Arizona, what's going on at the border, handing over control to the cartels by the Biden administration. It's really despicable. What's the real number? How many illegals have come into the United States in 2021? Is it 2 million, 4 million, 6 million?
Well, what I can tell you, the number I like to use is more than have died from COVID, which highlights the fact that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are using what's happening really is just a distraction for their agenda of unraveling President Trump's immigration policies. And unfortunately, when you talk about illegal immigration, you always hear the word border, but illegal immigration in Arizona and across this country does not stop at the border. This year, just in January alone in the Yuma sector, double the number of illegals crossed just in the Yuma sector alone compared to last January. And they don't stop in Yuma. In Scottsdale, Arizona, just back in December, 1.7 million fentanyl pills were seized. So drugs are coming across the border and all across this country. And that's why we need to build the wall. And that's why we need to take a stand, individual states and collectively, to build the wall and make sure that we pass immigration policies at the state level, because Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have ceded whatever control that we had of the border, and it's just complete chaos. We're under invasion, and it's important to know.
I think the overdoses were over 100,000 for Americans in 2021. I was at the border when the Mexican president, started to put troops on the southern and northern borders of Mexico. I watched them come in, by truck on the Mexican side, and Trump cut some deal, right? So they wouldn't be punished with tariffs and other things. The Mexican president cooperated, lowered traffic at the border about 86%, I believe, for that last year in office. And I think prosecutions are about 50% of what they were under Trump right now on the border.
They've denuded resources. They've denuded immigration judges. I mean, the reality is when I graduated from law school in the mid-2000s, the law was if you came here illegally, you were arrested, you were incarcerated, and then you were barred for 10 years. We now live in a country where if you come here illegally, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris rent you hotel rooms in Scottsdale. If you have a private sector job, they want to jab you with a needle, But if you come here illegally, they don't even ask your status. I mean, it's upside down world, and it's upside down here in Arizona. And when we need to be advocating for law enforcement so they can do their jobs. And I'm proud to have the support of Congressman Gosar. But of the 6 Republicans, I'm the one that carries the endorsements of the laws, the police associations across the state, because we need someone who's going to focus on law and order. And with my background in the military and my background in private practice, they know I'll be able to deliver.
Yeah, and we know the ghost flights, and that we have the flight logs for the charters and the America West, and hundreds of flights for each of the 7 or 8 planes, all over the United States. And I'm from New York, with the highest illegal alien population in the country.
Well, and you mentioned flights. TSA now allows people that come here illegally to use their documentation that they're here illegally to get on planes in Arizona and fly to other parts of the country. So they come across here, they come across, and then they fly up to New York. They fly everywhere. And now when they get to New York, they can be undocumented and they can vote in your city election. So we know what the end game is here when it comes to Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and these liberal Democrats. They want to erode the immigration policy so that they can continue to erode our elections. And that's why election integrity and, as I say, fighting election fraud is going to be another lynch issue here in Arizona. And it's another reason why I'm so proud to have Congressman Gosar's support. We'll be up in Prescott, Arizona this weekend. And the reason that's relevant is because that is the hometown of our state Senate president, Karen Fann, who in Arizona was the one that led the Senate audit when everyone else, including the Attorney General, refused to do that.
Yeah, it's been an incredible effort in Arizona. I hope you go back to paper ballots So let's talk about parents in schools. Do they have any rights anymore? Are the Democrats trying to, seize power over our kids and our families?
Well, according to the Department of Justice, are you talking about the what they call domestic terrorists? Joe Biden and Kamala Harris now are going after parents as well. And in Arizona, it's terrible, and I know it's happening across the country. In Scottsdale, Arizona, there was a school district where the board was discovered to be keeping a secret dossier. And that's why one of my commitments as Attorney General is actually to create a new office at the Arizona Attorney General's office called the Office of PEA, the Parent Education Advocacy Office. My wife and I, we have 2 young girls. They're 11 and 9. My wife's on a charter school board, so we live the issue of school choice. And if you buy a car in Arizona, you can go to the Consumer Fraud Office. If you have a challenge with our elections, there's an election integrity office. But where parents go, where can they go? Who can they call when they have an issue about their school or their school district? I believe, my family believes, and my supporters believe it should be the Attorney General, the chief law officer for the state. And so I plan on advocating for that as well, because we have mask mandates. We have critical race theory being jammed down the throats of some of our kids. And we have teachers in Arizona that are more focused on teaching politics than they are English, math, writing. And we need to get back to the basics, and I plan on fighting for that.
I graduated high school in 1988, and I already got back from the Soviet Union by then and saw communism firsthand. I was a Young Americans for Freedom, Morton Blackwell Leadership Institute guy. And, we were on all the campuses fighting the nanny state back then. And all these teachers that are in our schools today, went to school back then and got indoctrinated by these like communist, liberal, Che Guevara promoting, type thing. It's so horrendous what's going on in the school. And the teachers union in New York, Randy Weingarten, still want our kids masked up. It's really terrible. We have about a minute and a half left. Tell our viewers where they can follow you, and what are you going to do to help the Citizens Arizona?
Well, they can follow me at Rodney Glassman on Twitter, and they can also visit my website, rodneyglassman.com. We are running against the establishment, so we need resources. We've raised over $1 million from individual donors since my campaign began, and we have a long way to go. But at the end of the day, it's about fighting for Arizonans and protecting Arizonans from our government, from the feds who are trying to destroy immigration, at the state level where we have governors shutting down businesses. I believe that business owners should be able to decide with their customers when businesses should be open or closed, protecting the police as they try to defund our police here in Arizona and advocating for qualified immunity, and at the local school district level, protecting our parents and protecting our kids. It's about protecting Arizonans from the government at every level. And that's why I'm so excited to continue earning everyone's support as we work forward to this Republican primary in August as the only candidate that believed that President Trump should stay in office and does not regret supporting him over Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and the disaster that they've brought upon our country.
Yeah, and private corporations colluding with the government to spy on the Trump campaign. Now, does he get a do-over? It's amazing.
I'm asked from time to time, and I say, are you surprised that Hillary Clinton was cheating and we're just now finding out? We knew this the whole time, and it's just going to continue coming out as we fight for our freedom.
Rodney Glassman, candidate for Attorney General in the great state of Arizona, rugged individualist country. Thank you for joining us. We'll have you back.
Thank you.
Everybody, this is Dave Zere. We'll be right back on another great guest, Tom Norton, running in Michigan's 2nd Congressional District.